Welcome back. 3 commissioners from Kenya's election board have resigned after CEO Ezra Shiloba was suspended last week over alleged malpractice in procurement. The 3 top officials announced their resignation this morning, complaining that the electoral body is dysfunctional. They also described Chairman Wafula Chebukati as incompetent. After the October elections in 2017, the opposition kept calling for electoral reforms, which the government strongly opposed. These calls were toned down when President Uhuru Kenyatta and opposition leader Raila Odinga shook hands in a symbolic reconciliation last month.
Given this severe deterioration of confidence in the Commission chair, we find our position as commissioners under his leadership no longer tenable. Consequently, we regret to announce our resignation from the Commission with immediately effect. However, the institution has continued to be dysfunctional with arbitrary decision-making, leaking of internal documents to serve personal goals, and pursuing of personal interests, all of which are against the laid-down laws that govern the conduct of the Commission leadership and staff. This race to chase ghosts that don't exist needs to stop.
About 3,000 of the world's leading experts on malaria have begun arriving in Senegal to attend a 5-day conference focused on progress towards eradicating the disease in Africa. It's been 20 years since the first conference of the Multilateral Initiative on Malaria, which was also held in Senegal. The World Health Organization believes its elimination is within reach in 6 African countries: Algeria, the Comoros, Madagascar, the Gambia, Zimbabwe, and Senegal. According to the WHO, more than 400,000 people die from malaria every year, most of them African children. An Egyptian farmer is using aquaponic fish tanks to fertilize produce as a cleaner alternative to traditional animal manure. Aquaponic farming can vary in size and complexity, but it is generally a system that uses fish waste to fertilize crops, which in turn filtrates the water used to farm the fish.
An Egyptian farmer is using recycled water circulated from fish farms to fertilize plants in an attempt to make use of the latest farming technology and reduce water consumption. The method is known as aquaponic farming, a system that uses fish waste to fertilize crops, which in turn filtrates the water used to farm the fish. Aquaponics is similar to hydroponics, which is farming in water instead of soil. But in a hydroponic system, a farmer would add into the water the nutrients that the plants need. In aquaponics, those nutrients are produced by fish.
We had carried out research, it's old, it's not very new, and was many years ago, on the shortage of water and how all the coming conflicts and wars will revolve around water. The world's population is increasing and food needs will increase, while water is not increasing at the same rate. On the contrary, it's decreasing due to climate change. This information has been known for a while now.
Hagag's farm has different fish for each plant product. Every cubic meter in his farm is filled with 22 different kinds of plants and served by 130 fish. The risk of food insecurity in the Middle East is rising as water shortages worsen and traditional farming becomes more difficult.
I consume between 8 and 14 cubic meters of water a month compared to traditional farming. In one fidan, roughly an acre, 18,000 lettuce plants use 60 cubic meters of water every 3 days. That's 60 cubic meters every 3 days. I consume 14 or even, let's say, 20 cubic meters of water in a whole month in the same surface area.
Locked in a dispute with Ethiopia concerning the building of a dam on the River Nile. The Egyptian government fears the hydroelectric scheme will restrict the waters flowing down from Ethiopia's highlands through the deserts of Sudan to its fields.
In Zimbabwe, actors and actresses have taken a comical look back at Robert Mugabe's last days in office. Operation Restore Regazi is a satirical play about the former Zimbabwean president who was forced to quit the political scene he had dominated since independence from Britain in 1980.
I, Dr. Grace Mugabe, you are under arrest for usurping the powers of His Excellency.
On stage, the cast of Operation Restore Regazi act out their version of events in the last days of Zimbabwe's former president, Robert Mugabe's rule. The play is a comical look at what the cast imagined went on behind closed doors as Mugabe was ousted in a de facto coup by the military last November, paving way for his former deputy and protege, Emmerson Mnangagwa, to becoming president.
People do not love me anymore.
That's nonsensical. Why would you say something like that?
They showed me a video of my people marching in the streets against me and you. Marching
Up and coming actor Mike Banda played Mugabe, while actress Carol Mpufu played the former First Lady, Grace. The play's writer and director, Charles Munganasa, said the production was meant to keep the story that changed Zimbabwe alive in the minds of the public.
I said to myself, how best can I contribute towards safeguarding such a historic event in our country, and also towards making sure that the future generations which are going to come after us will know what really transpired in our country.
Mugabe resigned as Zimbabwe's president a week after the army and his former political allies moved to end almost 4 decades of rule by a man once feted as an independence hero. Thousands of people flooded the streets of Harare, singing, dancing and hugging soldiers in an outpouring of elation at Mugabe's overthrow.
The audience was very, very responsive, and I mean, it's not an opportunity that they really had to freely laugh at this and then go back home without feeling like they'll be stalked or followed. It's beautiful. It's beautiful stuff that's happening, and I hope it's a culture that will continue.
I love the performance, especially the Robert Mugabe one. He's really good. He's a really great actor. And I think if Hollywood comes, they should actually cast him and not try to take the other actors out there. Yeah.
Therefore, it is common cause that any instability in ZANU-PF naturally impacts on their social and political.
Operation Restore Regazi is a wordplay of the military intervention codenamed Operation Restore Legacy, led by military chief Constantino Chiwenga, who is now vice president. The production was well received on its first showing.
And that's Network Africa. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Temitope Fagbemi.